FA Nation, Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Better Baseball MLB DFS Playbook and live stream here recording for Wednesday's 10-game main slate. James, coming off 14 games. Sorry, 12 games. I said 10. 12 games. 12 games on the main slate here. 14 games on Tuesday, 12 games here on a Wednesday. So giving us some heavy hitters in the middle of the week, good sir.
Yeah, you mentioned it on Monday that we're in for a long week full of big game total or big game slates, and that is indeed what we have here. So it's an interesting one. I think there's a lot of really good pitching on Wednesday slate, like elite pitching, kind of up and down the list. There's some good value plays. So I really like that. Looks like there's going to be some weather issues, or maybe one weather issue, just considering Boston's been apparently rainy like every single night this
It's
week.
going to rain most of this week, so
yeah. So I like this slate, the looks of it, and I'm ready to get into it with some Vegas lines.
Yeah, go for it, man.
So Boston opens up at minus 230 over on DraftKings, taking on the Colorado Rockies, who are sending Austin Gomber to the mound. Framber Valdez is minus 250 favorite up against Josiah Gray and the Washington Nationals. Biggest favorite on the day is actually on the road. Tyler Glasnow and the Tampa Bay Rays minus 285. Glasnow looks like he is back, fully back, coming off a great start the last time out. And actually, he's tied for the largest money line favorite with the Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw. They're also minus 285. So you have some big favorites. Luis Castillo and the Seattle Mariners minus 180 over Miami. So there's some big favorites. 4 over money lines over minus 200. We haven't seen that a lot lately, but again, elite pitching headed to the mound. When we take a look at over-unders, something of note, once again, Yankees and Mets 7.5 implied runs, Sean. Some places it's already at 7, like DraftKings already has at 7. I guess tiptoe around that.
Verlander, Cole better than
Severino.
I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. 9 implied runs in Toronto, Baltimore, 9.5 in Boston and Colorado. That's a juicy game environment, in my opinion. 9.5 and some places 10 for LA, Texas, even though there's some pretty good pitching in that game. 9 implied runs in Cincinnati and Kansas City. And that's all for our 9 implied run totals or more.
Alrighty. Well, we go ahead and get into pitching. I just wanted to do a quick call out that Chas McCormick just homered. Plus 500. Home run call the day.
Let's go, dude. Let's go.
I got a little run, but I got two home run dingers,
dude. Let's go.
On the James Grande home run call of the night, tweet out there. So Chas McCormick coming through. Will he come through on this slate here? We'll find out because they have Washington when we get down to the outfield position. But going into pitching here. Garrett Cole is more expensive than Max Scherzer is on this slate. He's 11,000. Sure. Clayton Kershaw 10.8. Framber Valdez 10.3. Luis Castillo 9.8. Merrill Kelly 9.6. Tyler Glasnow 9.4. Yuri Perez 9K. Listed off a lot of starters there, James. It's a big slate. We like to cut this all down in half. So tell me, my guy, what couple pitchers are you just keying in on?
So Clayton Kershaw, first and foremost, back into prime form, back-to-back starts of 30 or more fantasy points, 9 strikeouts in each of those 2 starts, 14 innings, 2 earned runs, 18 strikeouts, 3 walks. Like, he literally might win a Cy Young in 2023. And a few years ago, we weren't sure if he was going to pitch anymore, just with all the back injuries piling up. And he's been phenomenal. Love the matchup against the White Sox. We don't know if Eloy's going to play or not. I mean, he missed again on Tuesday, so to be determined on Eloy. Obviously, he shrinks the White Sox already small lineup. I like Framber. I don't think you're going to like him as much because you're a Nationals enthusiast, and they have been good against left-handed pitching this year. But Framber, as we know, tough start in Toronto. Sure, 4 walks is a little unlike him. but he's been a quality start machine. He has been as consistent
Yeah.
as anyone else. Now, I like Kershaw better than him. I like Luis Castillo better than him. Another good start for a Seattle pitcher on Tuesday as it stands right now. Even Luis Castillo, last time out, 5 runs, 3 earned, 10 strikeouts. Second time he's had 10 strikeouts in 3 starts. And he is now like back into prime form, like 4 straight really good starts, 22 or more fantasy points in each of those. So I like Luis Castillo. I think Tyler Glasnow is going to be the most popular of them all. He looked amazing in his start against Texas, and Texas is obviously, dude, Tyler Glasnow's first 3 starts this year, Dodgers, Red Sox, Rangers, like 3 of the 10 best offenses in
Yeah.
baseball, and he has 6 strikeouts or more in each. He's allowed 3 earned runs or less in each. He's allowed only 1 to both Texas and Boston, and that start was in Fenway Park as well. Obviously, not the most easy place to pitch. 84 pitches this time out wasn't great, but I think that's just getting through 6 really just unscathed. Like they're like, all right, let's not
Yeah.
push our luck here. I could see a scenario where Glasnow pitches 90 pitches, like gets up to 90 pitches against Oakland. I think before ownership, he is the most popular pitcher of the day. Him or Kershaw would be my 2 guesses just based off
The strikeout upside with him
what we
is
have.
ridiculous. I
Through
mean,
the
he
roof.
struck
Through
out
the roof.
6
Yeah.
Rangers. Team doesn't really strike out. Boston doesn't really strike out despite the fact that their lineup sucks, but he had 6 and 5 1/3. Had 8 strikeouts against the Dodgers and 4 1/3. And like you said, he hasn't cracked 90 pitches yet. If they just like, all right, Tyler, you're okay. Like, let's see where you go. Like, double-digit strikeouts are well within a range of outcomes for this guy. My 2 favorite pitches on the slate are Kershaw and Glasnow. Like, by far, no arguments here for me. That's where I'm going to go. But Castillo, obviously, his name goes in the hat. This is like one of the few slates where, like, I'm probably not playing Framber. Not that you can't, but I probably won't. Probably won't play Cole. Not that you can, but probably won't. Like, I'm just going to go Kershaw, Castillo, Glasnow up top and find my way to the mid-tier range.
Yeah, I mean, I largely agree. Like, you can play those guys if you want, but I don't think they're better plays
Right.
than the others.
That's kind of where I'm at with this as well. I mean, you can lock in the quality start for Framber, but his strikeouts kind of dip up and down at times, and now it's a team that doesn't really strike out in Washington. So, it could be a low strikeout game, and Washington works pitch counts. Maybe he only goes 6, and you're not really paying off the 10-3. Yep. So that's kind of where I'm at the top. I'm not playing for Mel or Kelly in the start against Philly. That could come back to burn me. I don't know. We'll find out. But Kelly, as good as he's been pitching, I don't know if I want to test these waters against Philly in this spot.
Yeah, I'm okay. Philly's offense starting to wake the hell up.
Mid-tier range. Talk to me. A couple guys we're both agreeing on for this spot here. What are you looking at?
Yeah, Michael Wacha has been great. I'll just flat out say it. He's been great. I don't know how else to say it because I don't think there needs to be anything else said. I mean, we're talking about a guy who has now had 7 consecutive starts of 2 earned runs or less, and 4 of them he's allowed none. I mean, there's been strikeouts, now a little inconsistent, but 3 of the last 5 games he's had 7 or more strikeouts. He has had 17 or more fantasy points in 6 straight starts, and if you want to just round up on the Cincinnati start, 16 and a half or more in 7 straight starts. And now Cleveland's ranks 25th in OPS against right-handed pitching. I think that's fairly easy to get to in the mid-tier. Good pitching environment in San Diego as well, and the offense is coming around. Just more reason to support Wacha. 6-2 record. Like, this could be another win lined up for him. And then Garrett Whitlock, who has just turned into like a pretty good pitcher for Boston. 3 of the last 5 starts, he's given us 19 or more fantasy points, including 2 of those over 23. Now, Colorado, again, has been better against right-handed pitching specifically. Like, they cannot hit lefties to save their life, and they have been pretty respectable against righties. But Whitlock keeps the ball on the ground, which is what you need in Fenway. You need the ball to stay on the ground and not in the air because, even though the monster's big, it's not far away. And even though, there's a pesky pole down there. It's really short. So we need the ground balls in Fenway, and we get that from Whitlock. So as long as the strikeouts continue to trend upwards, 4, 5, 6, and that in that order over his last 3 starts, I like him at $6,700.
Yeah, listen, the one thing with Whitlock, it really had been the health for him. The guy has just always been hurt for Boston, but they really believe he can be a good starter. He was obviously a shutdown reliever for them when he joined the team there, but they really think he can become a good quality starter for them. So we'll see. Obviously, you mentioned some inconsistencies here, inconsistencies with the strikeouts. Again, he was a much better strikeout pitcher as a starter, as a reliever than a starter. We see that at times. Guys can just unload for an inning and then they kind of manage it during a starting pitch when they're starting here. But again, a lot of scouts, a lot of team guys think that he can be a really good starter for them. So at $6,700 against Colorado, I don't mind that take there. Anybody else for you on this slate when it comes to some value? Anybody that maybe you think could potentially work out into being a good spot?
Yeah, I mean, I know Arizona's been good against lefties. Ranger Suarez has also been really good lately, and he's gotten back to his roots, just getting a lot of ground ball outs, like nothing hit in the air. Anytime you get that, it piques my interest. And then he paired it with 8 strikeouts his last time out against the Dodgers, and that's where I think things get interesting because now he's faced Arizona and got shelled, but that was in the midst of obviously getting back, very rusty, whatever. But Mets in New York looked good. In Washington, a team that we know hits lefties well, they're in the top 5 in OPS. 7 innings, 1 run are allowed, 13 ground ball outs. Very solid start. And then 6 innings, 1 run, 8 strikeouts against the Dodgers. So everything's trending in the right direction for Ranger Suarez. That would probably be the only other name I'd have much interest in. He's also $5,600. He's not a $5,600 pitcher.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. When he was healthier last year, much better spot. We were picking on him early on in this year because he was trash, but obviously starting to turn it around a little bit. So very good value, though it does break our hearts because there are a lot of guys in Arizona that we do like to play against lefties, and we'll talk about that right now as we get into the infield. James, talk to me. Give me your top performing projected infielders for this slate.
I really like Rafael Devers, who actually just homered for Boston about 2 seconds ago. Second of the night. And what I think I like the most about Devers is he's never been anyone who can't hit lefties. He's actually hit lefties historically well his entire career. And Austin Gomber this year, John, against left-handed bats, 377 average allowed, an 1100 OPS, closer to 1200 than it is 1100, and a 482 WOBA allowed to lefty bats. Devers already has 5 home runs against Southpaws this year. Give me Rafael Devers as one of my top spends. I like Jose Ramirez. I don't know why Jose Ramirez is priced the way he is. The guy hit 3 home runs, then the next day hit another home run. And now he has had 4 straight multi-hit games going into Tuesday
Finally
slate.
Being worthy of a high price tag.
Yeah, but he's cheaper than he's been all year long. This is the literal cheapest price tag he's been all season long, and he's had his best stretch of the year by a mile. And I know we just talked about Michael Wacha, but I'm just really just going after Jose Ramirez, the talent.
Yeah, lineups you don't have Wacha, it makes a lot of sense to go into the Ramirez spot if you're in on him, for sure.
Right, and then Freddie Freeman against Clevenger. I'm going to attack Clevenger at all costs. And Christian Walker gets a lefty. I know I just mentioned the Ranger Suarez I like, but I'm also not afraid to play Diamondbacks because, like you said, we do like a lot of Diamondbacks against left-handed pitching. They all have
pretty ridiculous splits there. For me, we have Josh Jung against a lefty. You mentioned Jose Ramirez. Jung is actually priced $100 more, but nothing's really slowing down this Rangers offense. Doesn't matter who's on the field. And while we've used Reed Detmers at times, and he came through for us pretty big in his last outing, not probably against Texas. Probably not going to come through there. So I like Josh Jung here as a top infielder. And then Ellie De La Cruz, I think, just always deserves to be mentioned because at any point in time, even when he has bad nights like tonight, he still scored a run, walked, stole a base. It's still a good night for Ellie. And if anything breaks his way better, monster production comes from him. And then he's a value play, but and I'll steal them from you, but Gunnar Henderson deserves to just be considered a top play as well. I mean, kudos to you again, like total hats off. Bringing up Gunnar, and you called it on the end of the live stream that we did on Tuesday, that Gunnar was like your star of the night, your value play of the night, and that he was going to have over 20 fantasy points. And he hits a grand slam, has an absolute monster night. Now he's chalky. We knew that going into that anyways. We had a lot talked about the roster, but you still had to play him. You still had to put him in your lineup for that to matter. And we did, and we smashed obviously the O's stacks here tonight. And they didn't touch his price tag because they didn't know any better yet. Because the slate came out right before that game started. So $3,700 against Jose Barrios. Look out, world! The gun show's here, right? And it is not going away anytime soon. He is an absolute.
No.
He was the number one prospect coming into the season. He was actually places had him ranked over Corbin Carroll coming into this year.
Yep.
Corbin Carroll obviously has gotten off to a ridiculous start, but Gunnar Henderson might finish as good as Corbin Carroll's been all year, and that will be a very interesting run for him to finish out.
Yeah, I'll pat myself on the back. I took them both in the FSGA this year, so some thought I reached on both. I'm now not thinking that at all. I think that's actually the opposite. But yeah, Gunnar home runs in 4 of his last 5. I think he's really just doing everything. He had a double stolen base game the other day. So, and it was us. It wasn't just me. We talked about Baltimore in general against Chris Bassett. And you know what? You look at Jose Barrios' numbers throughout his whole career, lefties are what kill him. And it's been the same thing again this year. Lefties are what gets to Jose Barrios. So going right back to the well with Gunnar as a top value. Rodolfo Castro gets a lefty here, John. We know the Rodolfo Castro splits ad nauseum. And guess what, John? I'm on the playbook on Wednesday. So guess who's going to be in the playbook again? Rodolfo Castro. And I mean, you're going to catch a theme very, very fast here
for Rodolfo against lefties.
Dude,
not slowing down. Just keeps on keeping on.
The guy is just incredible. Someone else who's been incredible against left-handed pitching, and it's going to be a theme throughout this whole podcast, is Justin Turner. Justin Turner has destroyed left-handed pitching this year. Austin Gomber might as well feel like he's pitching in Coors Field on this slate. Justin Turner, 304 average, 4 home runs, 421 WOBA against lefties this year. Gomber allowing a 930 OPS, 397 WOBA to righty bats. So lefties hit him, righties hit him. Give me a pretty cheap Justin Turner to fit into your Boston.
Do you remember the song by Augustana called Boston?
No, I've never heard of such a thing.
It was a kind of popular pop song back in the day, and Justin Turner's walk-up song is Augustana, Boston. And the sentence in the song that he plays while he walks up is, "I think I'll go to Boston. I got to get out of California." And it's just kind of a funny little right?
That is pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Sox. So, little tidbit there if you're interested in the Justin Turner walk-up song. It's Augustana, Boston. You can check it all out there. Let's go in. Any other values for you here on the slate? We talked about Rodolfo. You talked about Justin Turner. Anybody else of note for you in the infield?
No. What do you got? Do you have anything?
Connor Joe.
Yep.
Absolute monster against lefties, right?
They're going to probably hit third. They usually bat him 3rd and 5th, right? They bat Connor Joe 3rd, and then they'll bat Rodolfo 5th against lefties.
So, again, a guy that's been an absolute beast against left-handed pitching on the year. 609 slug, 1,000 OPS, 4 or 6 homers against left-handed pitching here. So, Rodolfo, Connor Joe, listen, for better or for worse, you and I have played a lot of Pirates this year, right? And you know what? It will come around. It will play off for us one big day. They'll both come through and smash for us there. And then I also have the Diamondbacks that we like. You mentioned Christian Walker before, but Emmanuel Rivera, Evan Longoria. Rivera's got first base eligibility. Longoria is obviously third base under $3,000. And I guess if they play Carson Kelly again for the 3rd straight night,
I don't see it. So Philly has 4 stolen bases on Carson Kelly. through like 3 innings. And he's played 2 days in a row. They're playing Moreno. They gotta go to Moreno. Moreno's also hitting 400 against lefties. Like, you can't sit him against a lefty again.
If Kelly plays $2,700, I don't like.
Yeah,
it's not terrible to go there.
And Moreno too.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, if Moreno plays.
And Wallach is free again, I think. Dude, $2,400 versus a lefty for Wallach against Heaney.
He had a 1 for 2 with a double and a walk and a RBI, by the way. Or a run scored.
Every Angels catcher this year has actually been sneaky good. From a hop to dice to Wallach here. So some good value at the catcher spot. I feel like we don't give the catcher spot enough look sometimes when we do these podcast shows since we've changed the format, but sometimes there's some pretty good. It doesn't even matter. Jan Gomes gets a lefty here in Emmanuel. Another.
Yep. Well, so we're gonna hold off on that.
We don't know yet.
We don't know what Pittsburgh's doing.
Right.
DraftKings lies to us. I'm going to look it up. I've seen – it might actually just be a lefty regardless. I've seen this Emmanuel guy. He's 31 years old, and they called him up, or they're planning to call him up. I've also seen Rich Hill, but, like, who knows? We could also see someone else random start for Pittsburgh, you know? So before we fully commit on the Jan Gomes train, let's see how that plays out.
Let's move on over to the outfield then here. You can quickly give me your top outfielders for today.
Top outfielders, Adam Duvall, a very big theme here. I like the Red Sox. I think Duvall is going to hit a home run. I really like Tampa Bay's outfield. They go up against Medina, and Medina's been bad against righties. He's been bad against lefties. You can get a Rosarena. I know a Rosarena is really expensive, but, $391 WOBA for right-handed bats, $380 WOBA for lefties. So that puts a Rosarena and Josh Lowe firmly in play up here. So I like both those guys. And then JD and Mookie up at the top for the Dodgers against Mike Clevenger. Those are my top.
I'm with you there. My top outfielders for the day, the Dodgers, and then Soto, I think are my favorite spend-outs. Betts, JD, and Soto for top plays. I'm talking about looking at value. I think we go back to the Rangers and the Angels here. Renfroe, Ward, cheap going up against lefties here, and then Ezekiel Duran's got multi-position eligibility now. Leodis Tavares is very cheap down there as well. So I think you can get some of the Rangers value in this spot here, and I think you get some of the Angels value off the board here on this slate as well.
Sure, like them both. I will add Luke Raley to that equation because he gets Medina, and I'll go right back to the Baltimore guys. Aaron Hicks and Ryan O'Hearn both homered again. Like, unreal that they continue to do it, but they're hitting 4th and 6th respectively, like right in the middle of that Baltimore lineup. If they're going to continue to play, Jose Barrios struggles against lefties.
I agree with you there 100%. Let's go on over to our home run calls in stacks of the day. I'm going to go with Josh Jung as my home run call, top stack of the Dodgers. Contrarian stack, question mark. We don't know ownership yet, but Rangers I'll run with there against Detmers. Right. I think my start of the night's going to be Mookie Betts, just the power and speed combo there leading off in that spot. And then my value play, I'm going to go Hunter Renfroe. I think he homers again tonight in this matchup.
Nice. I agree on everything. The Rangers are a little interesting because I like Reed Detmers, so TBD on that one for me, but the rest of it I like. And you spelled Hunter Renfroe like the receiver from the Raiders. Just going to call you out there.
I can't see that.
I just wanted to call you out to the public. And as John fixes it right now, they can't see it. They can't see it, but he still fixes it. My home run call is Adam Duvall. My top stack is going to be the Boston Red Sox. I'm going to go back to the well with the Baltimore Orioles. I don't think a lot of as my contrarian stack. I don't think a lot of people are going to play him. And as long as the Blue Jays continue to throw out pitchers that struggle against lefties, I'm going to keep playing a lineup that has 6 lefties in it every single night. Start of the night, I'm going to go Devers. I think he continues to just, kind of show up and show out. And I'm going to go Justin Turner as my value play. I can go Gunnar to be chalky. I think you and I both could have gone Gunnar here. And that's
Gunner's just going to get in our value. He's going to be in our lineup anyways. So,
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna go Justin Turner. I went Duvall. I 3 Red Sox in that category. I don't know if you
I thought you're
realize
big
where
on
I'm
Boston
going
in this
from us.
one. As a Yankees
Yeah,
fan, that's I'm proud of you.
I mean, so you gotta do it. Like again, we talk about this all the time. Like if we were just sitting up here and you were touting the Red Sox 24/7 and I was touting the Yankees 24/7, I hope people would call us out on
I would agree.
shit and say,
Yeah.
hey,
And we
like
appreciate those of you who
let's
leave comments on the YouTube channel. We much love to you
agreed,
who tune in every day. Support us here.
agreed.
If you're new, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know what you like about the show. We're always happy to converse. And if you're not yet a member of the Fantasy Storm family, well, you see the scroll down below. Go to fantasystorm.com/all-pro. Promo code MLB50 gets you 50% off the first 6 months there. It's $19.98 a month. For the first 6 months, gets you access to everything we have on site, including our premium Discord channels, where James and myself are in there. We'll answer your questions, talk to you throughout the day, give you lineup advice, all the good stuff there. So sign up today. First 6 months, 50% off. Hard to beat that deal right there. James, build a lineup here. A couple minutes left. Where's our number 1 pitcher? Is it Glasnow? Is it Castillo? Kershaw? What are we linking?
So I don't know. Like we could go with a couple different routes. I toyed with the Glasnow Waka thing to start. We can honestly, John, we could probably end up getting to Clayton Kershaw, Tyler Glasnow if we wanted to.
I got Glasnow Castillo. Let's see if we can build a lineup here.
Okay, I like that too.
Yeah,
I like that too.
Do you want to go down to Wallach just to save us money at catcher?
Yeah, hell yeah. Yep, I do.
First base.
Okay. Justin Turner, 3,800.
Second base. Mookie.
Second base.
We're gonna use Gunnar. Gunnar at short, probably, right?
Yeah. We can use Rodolfo Castro at second or short.
At second.
He has the eligibility again, so we could, if we want to play Mookie, let's play him in the outfield.
Third base. Yeah, Devers.
We're gonna have to pick
O'Hearn,
I think.
Right? Probably.
Yeah.
O'Hearn.
2,800. I still don't think we can get to Mookie. You could try it though.
51, a little off.
JD we're even a little short on. Yeah, that I mean, I like.
There's a line right there. Castillo, Glasnow, Wallach.
Oh, this is
Turner, Castro, Devers, Henderson, O'Hearn connect, Renfroe, and Duvall there. So two Angels, a one-off Rodolfo, 3 Red Sox, 2 O's, Glasnow, Castillo up at the top. That is our first look example lineup of everything that's going on here. And you know what? Looks pretty good. Not gonna lie.
You know what Chad Wallach just did, John? Just hit a home run.
Love it. Already getting value at $2,400. So that's what we got going on here. James Ronnie will be on the playbooks, so tune in for that. James and I will also be back live at 5 o'clock Eastern. Be on the lookout for that. Subscribe to the channel so you get notified when the live stream goes live. James and I will be back again, 5 o'clock Eastern. We'll talk to you then.